Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss season 2 of Netflix's original show, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Um, this is incredible. This is an incredible show to begin with, right? We already praised season 1, so season 2 picks up exactly where season 1 left off. The 5 kids are trying to figure out what to do because they thought they lost Ben, and Bumpy, the ankylosaur, the baby ankylosaur with the one bump, not as big as the other bump. So the park's been evacuated because of the Indominus attack. The beginning of season 1 coincides with Jurassic World, the first one that came out in 2015, and the aftermath. So then the show takes place in between Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, because we know the island explodes because the volcano is still active, and like the volcano erupts and just wipes out everything. Remnants of Jurassic Park, remnants of Jurassic World, and all dinosaurs who could not escape the island, for that matter. So, will the kids get off the island? How do they get off the island? We still don't know these things. 8 episodes for season 1, 8 episodes for season 2. So season 2 revolves around the 5 kids still there, trying to figure out how to survive, or as Sammy put it, adapt or die. I thought that was pretty neat. Or did Kenji say it? I don't remember. So we have the kids doing their stuff. They're back on Main Street. Kenji, voiced by Ryan Potter, is still iconic with his sarcasm, but wit. And one of my favorite moments in this entire season was Kenji and Darius going together to the watering hole to see the Ceratosaurus and the Sinoceratops drinking water together. Arch rivals, but everything is calm around the watering hole, just like how in nature, specifically in Africa, all the predators and prey, quote unquote, are not fighting each other. They're just mutually neutral ground, get some water, move on, kind of a thing. And Kenji is crying because of how majestic it is. Each one of the 6 kids cries at some point during the course of this show. We've had 16 episodes so far, 8 for season 1, 8 for season 2, but it's pretty poignant to see character development, to see that these hardened individuals, these now hardened individuals can show some form of emotion, some form of gratitude. So it's pretty neat having then throw in the eco-tourists coming to the island, who then turned out to be big game hunters. Their plans are foiled. They were eaten. Baryonyx were featured heavily within this season. I was very happy about that, especially the 3 of them, who Sammy did name, and I can't remember all of them. I remember one was named Grim. I'd have to look at the color patterns on their scales again. Bumpy being grown now, and we get the backstory of how Ben survived the Pteranodon attack, how Ben and Bumpy survived in the wilderness, how Bumpy's now an adult Bumpy, even though it's been only a couple weeks, but her growth accelerant, clearly has proven that. And we get some more information into Manticore. Manticore versus InGen, who's trying to get the dino genetics, to be the best. Brooklyn finds this master key card that can unlock most of the doors and things of that nature. Lots of adventures through that. So it's now a matter of what was in that cryogenic state in room E750. I think that's what it said. And now that it's unfrozen, because the power went out again, because the kids found a way to turn the power back on, and then the compies then chewed through the wiring, and then that ended that. But what just unfroze? What is now going to attack everybody in season 3? And I think Darius being the leader of the 6 is pretty poignant as well, because it shows that character development. He's been struggling with so much loss, specifically with his dad. He's trying to figure out how to save his friends, forced friends, but now that they're camp fam, as Sammy calls it, Camp Cretaceous family, how are they getting off the island, as he's documenting what the dinosaurs are doing in this field guide. And it's pretty interesting having Ben and Bumpy fight off Charred Toro. That was a pretty cool battle scene, but it's showing the resilience of the kids, and it's showing the adaptability of the kids, but it's also showing that will to survive. But also, you're seeing certain dinosaurs understand that they are a part of the island now, that the kids are a part of the island. So some of them can rely on others. Some of the dinosaurs can rely on the kids to help them. For instance, when they happen to stumble across that veterinary camp that still had dinos that were sick, that couldn't evacuate when the humans had to evacuate. So the kids then had to unlock the cages, and that was a big scene debating whether or not to let the Baryonyx stay in the cage or not. Eventually the Bary was let out, but it was still pretty interesting, showing that different character development with the psyche of the kids. So, when will season 3 be? I have no idea. I'm assuming summertime, just because season 1 was, September-ish? Give or take. I know season 2 is like winterish, so maybe spring, summerish we'll get season 2. But yeah, I'm so happy I have the Mattel figures. Beautiful, beautiful figures. Color pattern is very reminiscent to the dinos in this show. But I am so happy for character development. I say this all the time when it comes to series. I say this all the time when it comes to certain movies or comics or books. Character development is key. Showing growth in a character is very important to keep the story alive. I am so invested in this show because of how much the characters adapted or died or would have died. Very important that the characters acknowledge this. Very important that they change, especially Ben. Ben was afraid of everything. Now he's eating bugs off trees. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And it's funny because when I've never seen Star Wars Rebels until recently. We'll talk about that. I'm afraid to talk about that because Star Wars fans are hardcore, but we'll talk about it at some point. Taylor Gray voices Edra Bridger in Star Wars Rebels, and Ryan Potter voices Kenji in this show, but he also voices Hiro Hamada in Big Hero 6, the show and the movie, and he's also Beast Boy in DC's Titans. I've never seen DC's Titans. I don't want to, but I thought Taylor Gray was Ryan Potter when I first started to watch Rebels recently. I had a quarantine. I was exposed to COVID. I tested negative, thankfully, but I still had a quarantine, so I picked up Star Wars Rebels after I finished Clone Wars. And I thought, as I'm watching the first couple episodes, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Ryan Potter's voice. And I looked it up, and it's not Ryan Potter's voice, it's Taylor Gray's voice. So I'm trying to learn my voices of people, but Ryan Potter is a perfect Kenji. I think that was the point of me saying this now. And Sean Giambrone is a great Ben. He plays a great Ben. I don't know the other actors and actresses who play the voice actors, but off the top of my head. But Ryan Potter and Sean Giambrone, those are the only two that I know off the top of my head. And that's it. What do you think is behind door E750? What kind of hybrid dino, or might be an irritator? Ooh, that'd be fun. I hope it's an irritator. Or a Suchomimus? No, that room was too small for a Suk. I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully season 3 comes out soon. Let's stay dino-tastic, everyone, and roar some. Okay, enough puns. Mucho mahalo.